Hi, and welcome to Pet Pals. Every week we showcase animals that are looking for forever homes at the Frederick County Division of Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center. I'm Linda Shea, the Division Director. With me is one of our longtime volunteers, Randy Cooper. And we're going to take a look at 10 animals today that are looking for families. First one up is Fluffy. If he looks familiar, we've had him on the Pet Pals before. He was turned in by an owner back in early January and is now still looking for a home. He's only about 18 months old, very energetic, very interested in people, would be a great dog if you've got a higher activity level, and as you can tell, he's very smart. We have him down as a lab mix, and every time we have him on the show, we look at his tail and try to figure out what else is in there besides lab. So that is, anyone's best guess. He's about 60 pounds. Again, very in tune with people, very perceptive, very interested. Prior to leaving the shelter, he will be brought up to speed on vaccines. We're going to have him neutered. He's already microchipped. And we do have him designated as older children or adult home only, primarily because of his energy level. I think sometimes people maybe take a look at some of the catalogs or commercials with labs and they're just sitting there placidly enjoying their fireplace. Fluffy definitely has a high energy level, so he needs some kind of work, some kind of job to keep him busy and work out that energy, and then after that workout would be certainly agreeable to laying by your feet. But for now, he's looking for a forever home at 1.5 years old. His adoption fee is $92.50, and that covers a lot. So if you're interested in a dog like this and you've got time and energy, you want to check out Fluffy. This little girl is Allie Bug. She might also be a familiar face on Pet Pals. She's about 7 years old, has been with us at the shelter about a month now, and she is an Australian blue heeler mix. Given her color, she's got kind of that blue and white pattern going on that's familiar of blue heelers and Australian shepherds. She is about 45 pounds, and heelers in general, any kind of herding breed, does have just a normal inherent desire to kind of nip and get other animals or even people in the direction that they think that they should be going. So sometimes that doesn't work well if you are not used to that behavior. It's not aggressive behavior, it's just natural instinct that kicks in. So with a dog like Allie Bug, you'd want to keep her busy. You'd want to give her a job. So often in our society, we become very sedentary, and we want lap dogs, and we want dogs that respond immediately to what we have in our head that they should be doing, and that's incorrect. So she would need something to do, a long walk around the neighborhood on leash, playing fetch in the backyard. There's other agility trials and things that you can set up even in your backyard with limited resources, just to keep her exercised and keep her mind working. But she's about 7 years old. She's been with us about a month now, and we're looking to find a home that is just appropriate. That's our whole goal here, is to find a home that will match the temperament and personality of the animal that you're looking to adopt. So as a senior pet, she does qualify for a senior discount. You can tell she's food motivated. She knows how to sit, so she's good with that. So very easy to train. But again, a dog like this, if she gets bored, you might end up being in trouble. So you have to be just a little bit smarter than Allie Bug. But she's got a great personality, great temperament, and we are looking forward to placing her in a family that just has enough time and resources. So again, if you have any questions on a dog like this, you certainly want to contact the shelter. This little girl is one of our younger dogs on the adoption floor. This is Bella. She is about 10 to 12 months old, and she was turned on Christmas Eve. She had been passed from one friend to another, and in her short 3-week tenure with her second family, she did not get along with the older 2 dogs in the family. So given the situation, sometimes owners just can't handle having 3 dogs that don't get along. So Bella, being the last one acquired, was turned into the shelter. She is a pit mix. She's an adorable, primarily black, but she's got some spots of white in there, about 42 pounds, and we do have her as designated going through what we call our puppy process. And our puppy process is just a special interview or adoption process of getting applications to make more of an effort to make a better match between a family and a pet. So many people come in here and they want a puppy, and they just have that in mind. They're not even sure necessarily which breed they want, what gender, what anything, that disposition, temperament. They just want a puppy. And oftentimes if they're drawn to a puppy, they kind of overlook some of the issues that puppies can have. Sometimes puppies aren't house trained, or they have a desire to chew on valuable furniture, and they just can't tell the difference between you know, a slipper or maybe a designer shoe. So those kind of things happen. So our puppy process means we take up to 4 applications, and then we do the screening that we've got in place to see if people have puppy experience, if they've got breed experience, if someone's home during the day, or if you're not home during the day, have you been creative in thinking about how this dog's going to get out at lunchtime for a housebreaking opportunity. So again, this is Bella. She is one of the younger dogs, so if you're interested in adopting her or any of the younger dogs on our floor, it would go through the puppy process. And of course, if you ever have questions about how that works, you want to make sure that you either stop in at the shelter or give us a call and ask the question. This little cutie is Duke. He is about 6 years old, and he was turned in because his family of 2 months, one of the persons in the family had developed allergies, so they decided that Duke could not stay with them. He is an adorable little Cairn Terrier mix. He is already neutered. He is current on vaccines. He's about 19.5 pounds. So if you're looking for a small dog, one of the things that you want to be aware of, he is absolutely adorable. That's undeniable. He's got a great personality, great temperament, but he is in the terrier family. And terriers can have issues with small animals in the home. If you've got rodents, if you've got cats, depending on the specific dog, he may or may not do well with that. It looks like he, according to his previous owners, he does not get along with cats, does not get along with other dogs. Now, we haven't witnessed any of that dog-to-dog negative interaction here. If you have an existing dog and you're thinking about adopting a dog like Duke, where the previous owner has mentioned that he doesn't get along with other dogs, we recommend what's called a meet and greet, where you bring in your existing dog or dogs and you can meet one of the shelter dogs, typically on neutral ground, kind of to gauge their interaction. It's not a guarantee of how they will interact in your home, but it is sort of a little benchmark as to the behaviors that you can expect when the dogs interact in your house. And then if you have, you know, a concern, we can address those. If you've got questions about how it might work, certainly our shelter staff and volunteers have expertise that can offer you some insight into dog-to-dog behavior. But Duke is with us now at 6 years old. He is considered a senior, so he is qualified for a $20 discount off the normal adoption fee. Normal adoption fee for adult dogs is $92.50, so Duke would be $72.50. He is Lyme positive. We did test him and came back with that, so he's under treatment now with antibiotics. And Lyme disease in dogs, typically they will show a Lyme positive every time you get them tested at the vet. Some dogs are asymptomatic, meaning that they don't show any signs of being uncomfortable or any joint distress. And other dogs are very symptomatic, so he will be a lifelong project that you would have to take to your vet, as you would with any pet, at least once a year, just to get him checked from nose to tail, make sure that he is as comfortable as he can possibly be. But this is Duke, our little Cairn Terrier mix. Last little animal that we're going to take a look at before we go on break. As you can see, we had 4 dogs, and the other dogs in our shelter are happily adopted or on their way to being adopted today. So we're going to showcase an extra kitty. This is Darla. She is about 6 to 8 months old. She's extremely petite. When I'm looking at her, she's only a little over 5 pounds. So that's kind of on the small side given her age. Came to us as a stray just a couple of weeks ago, found stray in Jefferson. So the person that found her did the right thing and brought her to us to place up for adoption. We have brought her up to speed on vaccines. We've, including a rabies vaccine. We've gone ahead and given her some preventatives as far as deworming and ear mite prevention. We also test all of our felines before they go up for adoption for feline leukemia and feline immunodeficiency virus. Those are two viruses that are transmitted cat to cat, so that's important to know, especially if you have cats in your home already. You don't want to introduce anything that you're not familiar with. So Darla has tested negative for both of those viruses. We color code all of the animals in our shelter to kind of give potential adopters an idea of their temperament and personality as they're walking through the adoption floor. And Darla is color-coded blue, which is somewhat unusual for kittens. Usually kittens and juvenile cats are orange or green just because they've not developed the manners to be a lap cat. But Darla seems just very agreeable to being handled. She's not making too much of an effort to explore the room, so I can certainly see from her demeanor and disposition why she was color-coded blue. Adoption fee for kittens and cats is $97.50, and that covers getting them spayed, microchipped, and I can hear her now. She's actually got quite a little purr box going there, so very affectionate. But Darla is just one of a few cats at the moment on the adoption floor, so I would encourage you to come in and visit if you're thinking about adopting a feline. We're going to go ahead and take a short break. You want to stay tuned. After the break, we'll be back with some more animals that are looking for forever homes.
Seniors stay active and engaged in the community while making new friends by participating in events at Frederick County Senior Centers. Each of the 4 centers provide a variety of educational, health, fitness, and recreational activities, as well as resources to help area seniors maintain their wellness and independence. Nutritious congregate meals are offered daily for contributions of up to $5, and limited transportation services are provided for seniors 60 and older. Advanced registration is required for both of these services. Contact your local senior center for specific information about the programs and services offered in your area.
Are you a fan of Facebook? Hooked on Twitter? Now you can stay connected to County Executive Jan Gardner using your favorite social media platforms. Like, follow, and subscribe today. Using transit has never been easier for smartphone users with the launch of the Transit EasyFare mobile ticketing app. Simply download the free application onto your Apple or Android device, and you'll have everything you need to plan your next ride right in the palm of your hand. Purchase passes quickly and securely. Discover the right route, bus numbers, and departure times for your next ride using the Plan Your Trip feature. And stay informed about scheduling changes and other agency news by visiting Transit's Twitter feed. Plus, with visual validation, your phone never has to leave your hand. To learn more about how the Transit EasyFare app can work for you, visit frederickcountymd.gov/transit or call 301-600-2065.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
This little girl is one of our senior cats on the adoption floor. We named her Juno. Juno was microchipped in 2002, so we know that she's at least 14 years old. Came to us as a stray, so before deciphering the microchipping, we estimated her to be 10, but she's actually a little bit older. However, her health is good, her temperament is great, so age never precludes animals from being adopted. We adopt out many, many senior pets here at Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center. Juno is a beautiful Lynx Point Siamese mix. She was turned in as a stray, and it's a little suspect. She was turned in from somebody who found her as a stray. The microchip traced back to Alaska. which is probably a military installation out there where she was originally adopted from, but then turned in here when we contacted the original owner where the microchip was traced to. That person said that he had given her away to a friend. So she's here with us now regardless, and again, she showed up as a stray in Frederick. So she's a little over 9 pounds, already microchipped. She is already spayed. We've brought her up to speed on vaccines. When animals arrive here as stray, we don't know what their vaccine history is, so that's one of the first things that we do. We don't know if they have protection or not against different viruses and disease, so we go ahead and vaccinate. We do scan for microchips. We do check our lost book. We've got a book that files reports on lost animals that pet owners call in if they're missing: cats, dogs, ferrets, any animal, even farm animals that are lost. So there's a process when stray animals come in to try to reunite them with their owners, including tracing microchips and including posting front doors or windows or going out to homes and trying to just find the person that this animal came from. And we were unsuccessful in finding that out with this cat. So she is, as I said, at least 14 years old, well, at least 13 years old. She does qualify for the very senior discount, which is $20 off, plus an additional $20 off, so $40 off of the $97.50 adoption fee. She's in good health. We don't discriminate against age, so if you're looking for a senior cat that just wants to kind of hang out with you, Juno would be an excellent choice for your family. These little girls are Clover and Lily. I've got Clover, the black and white, and then Lily is the brown and white. They are about 2 years old, and they were surrendered to the shelter back in October. So they've been with us for quite a while. They are what we consider a bonded pair, and sometimes that leads to just a longer process for adoption. People are sometimes unwilling to take 2 animals at a time. They're just considering one. So we've mandated that since they have been together their whole entire lives, that they should stay together for the rest of their lives, and that's why they need to be adopted together. Guinea pigs are unique. They are great little pets. These little girls are very sturdy, very healthy. They originated from a pet store. So while we don't really have a position on whether animals should be at pet stores or not, we just are the recipient of so many pets that are easy to acquire from different resources just by way of having enough money to purchase them and to purchase a cage to house them in, but not understanding the long-term commitment. Guinea pigs can live an average of about 8 years, but they require commitment. They are very social creatures. These girls were turned in, they've been handled, they've been cared for properly, but at this point they probably are looking forward to getting out of the shelter and into a forever home. When you are shopping, a lot of times if you own a guinea pig, your shopping list is going to look a little bit different. They need dark greens in their lives. They also require a vet visit. Sometimes rodents get put on the back burner as far as seeing veterinarians, but it's a good idea at least once a year to get them a nose to tail exam as you would a dog or cat, just to make sure that everything's in working order. You want to make sure on a routine basis you're cleaning their ears very gently. If you don't know how to do that, you want to utilize a resource such as the shelter or Small Angels Rescue for information on how to do that. You would also need to bathe them. You want to monitor their nails, monitor their teeth, make sure that everything is, that their nails are trimmed properly and that their teeth don't have any issues with allowing them to chew. And as you can tell, both these girls are very calm. They're very social, very easy to handle. One of the main reasons guinea pigs are turned into the shelter is due to allergies, and oftentimes it may not be the guinea pig themselves, it might just be the hay. They need Timothy hay in their diet, in their cage. They also need proper bedding. They've got little tiny noses, so you want to make sure whatever bedding you provide them is hypoallergenic for their benefit. So again, these little girls are very sweet, very gentle and calm. If you're considering adopting a guinea pig, you want to make sure you check with the shelter. Again, Small Angels Rescue is our resource, my personal resource to go to for information on all things rodent. So prior to adopting, you want to make sure that you have all the information you need to make it a successful relationship between you and the guinea pigs. This little guy is Freddie. He is one of many bunnies that are available for adoption at the Frederick County Animal Control Division this week. Last week we had about 13 bunnies, and bunnies tend to be one of those smaller pets that, again, parents are just misled by thinking that either the young children will take care of them, or that they are easy to take care of, or that they don't require the same care that dogs and cats do. Bunnies require just as much care as dogs and cats do. They're very social creatures, but they have special dietary needs, and they also need a vet visit at least once a year, again, just to make sure from nose to tail everything is in working order, and that their nails are trimmed properly, and that their ears are clean, and that their teeth don't have any issues that are barring them from chewing properly. Freddie came to us, turned in because the owners could not keep. She had 3 children under the age of 10 and a young dog that just the whole mix was just overwhelming and too much. So that's how Freddie ended up being with us. Prior to that, he had been abandoned and taken in for about a month. So he's had a rough history. He is an adult. Sometimes it's difficult to tell the age of bunnies, and we haven't quite got our veterinarian to take a look to decide how old he is. Looks like he was fed once a day, and again, he was around small children. He's very affectionate, very social. The previous owners say that they only handled him about once a week. I would say that it was probably more than once a week, even if the kids were sneaking in just to play with him more often than that. He is affectionate. You can see he's very gentle. Again, bunnies just require attention. They're very social creatures. They need things to chew on. You can't just put them into a cage and expect them to be happy. They need enrichment. What we offer here are empty egg cartons, telephone books, boxes to climb through and hide in, bedding that's appropriate that they can't digest. So all of those things, all of those thoughts need to be part of the process if you're considering adopting a bunny. What we also recommend is if you're thinking about adopting, if you're just in that first stage of thinking about it, contact us for information. Ask about what you might need to prepare you and your family for adopting a bunny beyond just the necessities of food bowls and water bowls. Again, that enrichment, and when I say enrichment, I mean just offering things that stimulate where they live to make their brains work. So again, boxes to hide in, things to chew on, all offer that to them. But this is Freddie, cute little dwarf mix that is looking for a forever home. This little guy is named Thumper. He came to us just about a couple of weeks ago. He is about a year old, and I'm going to yield to our bunny experts who might be watching Pet Pals as to his breed. We've got down mini Rex. When I look at him, I see dwarf. So if anybody wants to weigh in on that, you are always more than welcome to. He is definitely very affectionate, and the reason he was turned in, the person had acquired him originally from a friend, had him for about 6 months, and then the landlord prohibited that person from keeping Thumper any longer. So that's another area of concern. If you rent and you're considering getting a pet, you really have to have some respect for your landlord and consider the alternatives. If you're not allowed to have pets, maybe talk to your landlord first and try to work out a compromise, or just respect the rules that there are no pets allowed. What happens a lot of times is that people try to sneak in pets, and then inevitably your landlord will find out. Either the animal will make noise, leave behind evidence that they've been there, maybe do damage to the place that you're renting. So you just need to be mindful. The last thing you want is to acquire a pet and then have to turn it into the animal shelter because your landlord said no, while they said no from the beginning, and you just disregarded that. So just keep that in mind. But again, if you've got a landlord that's open to ideas about keeping an animal maybe contained in one room or caged appropriately so they're not free roaming and damaging the rental property, all those things come into play. So a lot of times just real good communication with your landlord can eliminate a lot of issues. But Thumper, again, is just one of our tiny rabbits. For rabbits, again, they're very social creatures. They need to be housed safely, though they are prey animals. So if you have dogs or cats or other larger animals in your family, you want to make sure that whatever housing unit you're using is dog-proof, cat-proof, and predator-proof overall. You also want to supervise any interaction between a bunny and your other pets. You want to make sure that you provide an appropriate diet, and again, that once a year nose to tail exam from a veterinarian that understands bunnies is important. You can just save a lot of heartburn and heartbreak if you just have them examined at least once a year, or if you notice that maybe the bunny's not eating, not drinking, not eliminating properly. All of those things are up to you as a pet owner to observe and take notice of, and then act appropriately. But this little guy is definitely adorable. The adoption fee for bunnies is $50, and that covers getting them spayed or neutered, and of course keeping them up to speed on preventatives and good diet while they're here at the shelter. So we encourage you, if you're thinking about adopting a bunny, ask the questions first, get prepared, and then come in and visit with the bunny of your choice. So that wraps it up for this week's Pet Pals. We hope that wherever you're watching from, you are warm and inside, and maybe have some hot cocoa and cookies to join you. Have a great week. Thanks for joining us. If you've seen any animals here today you're interested in adopting or asking about, you want to make sure you call us at the shelter, or better yet, just stop by. Have a great week, and we will see you next time on Pet Pals.